to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and on today's episode of The Hypnotist, I was working with a lady. I think she was over in Asia. I can't remember specifically where she was, but she had a fear, a phobia of ugly people or ugliness. And, you know, that was is commonly known, or I say commonly known, it's known as cacophobia, the irrational fear of ugly things. And unfortunately, as far as phobias go, this is a phobia that is there's very little sympathy for. If someone has a fear of needles or injections or dentists, there's a lot of sympathy that people have with phobias like that. When people have this particular phobia, it's seen as a character flaw. It's seen as someone being judgmental or vain in some way. And actually, the root cause of cacophobia could be very similar to any other phobia. It may be that as a child, someone that is perceived to be ugly scares them in some way. If you think of a lot of Disney films, for example, cartoons, a lot of the villains or enemies, the bad guys in the actual movies, have, you know, quote unquote ugly characteristics. So there's a lot of conditioning that takes place throughout our entire lives to mean that we all at some level have these kind of unconscious perceptions. And I've worked with various people that had been facially disfigured from fires or scars, and they want to boost their own self-esteem. But they tell me all the time that the amount of, you know, hatred or anger or abuse that they get from other people is very, very high level. But the fear itself in terms of cacophobia can be changed. So this hypnosis session is really designed for people to change the belief about what it is to be ugly or ugliness. And once that belief's changed, then the perception can change. And the real key to getting over this cacophobia is to see the positive qualities in everyone. And this is why I think it could be a useful session for so many more people than those that just have this particular phobia, because the ability to see the good and the beauty in everyone is a very valuable thing, because it will help us to be nicer, more polite, more kind, more understanding, to judge people based on their character rather than how they look. So, you know, I've kind of named this the Shallow Hal hypnosis, from the movie Shallow Hal with Jack Black, where Jack Black is hypnotized to see the true beauty rather than the superficial beauty. And there are elements of that principle in this. You won't actually see fat people as thin, but you might be able to start having a better and higher level understanding of what true beauty is, rather than superficial beauty, which is not a healthy way of perceiving things anyway. So find somewhere comfortable that you won't be disturbed, and don't be surprised if not just other people start looking better to you, but even when you see yourself in the mirror going forward, don't be surprised if you can't help but see yourself as being more beautiful and more attractive as a result of this hypnosis session. Either way, any kind of thoughts, feedback, experiences, feel free to put them in the comments, and, you know, I always read them and take them on board. So really looking forward to any feedback that you have here. So find somewhere comfortable where you won't be disturbed, relax and enjoy. As you breathe in, just imagine that you're breathing in a sense of positivity and relaxation. Breathing in that relaxation, and as you breathe out, just imagine that you're breathing out a sense of tension, stress, or anxiety. Breathing in that relaxation, allowing that relaxation to flow throughout your entire body. And as you breathe out, just imagine that you're breathing out anything that is no longer needed deep inside your body. Imagine that as you breathe in, you're breathing in a warm color that represents relaxation. Imagine that warm color flowing throughout your entire body. And as you breathe out, imagine that perhaps a dark, shadowy color is leaving your body in your outward breath. Breathing in relaxation and breathing out tension, stress, or anxiety. And I want you to imagine that you're somewhere relaxing, perhaps somewhere outside. Whatever image comes to your mind as a relaxing place is perhaps the very best place that you could be. For some people, this might be a garden or a beach or somewhere outside that they associate with nature. I want you to imagine that it's a warm, sunny day and you are lying outside in the sunshine. As you relax and enjoy the sunshine, I'd like you to imagine that in the same way that you can breathe in and feel that relaxation filling your body, I want you also to imagine that as you feel the sunshine on your skin, that sunshine, in the same way that sun has the ability to give vitamin D throughout your whole body, I want you to imagine that as you breathe in, you're breathing in relaxation while simultaneously your skin is absorbing relaxation from the sunshine. I want you to position your body in a comfortable way, enjoying the fact that you're taking deeper and deeper breaths. And imagine that you're outside in the sunshine, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin. Imagine that you can feel the sunshine around your eyelids and around your eyes. And if you haven't already closed your eyes, then just allow your eyes to completely close now. Enjoying the feeling of relaxation, allowing any unnecessary tension around your eyes to simply relax, release, and let go now. Imagine now that feeling of warmth on your skin, on the muscles around your forehead. As you breathe in that warm feeling of relaxation, it feels good to also feel that warm sunshine on your forehead, allowing those muscles that are responsible for facial expressions like surprise or concern or worry to just relax, loosen, and let go of any muscle tension around your forehead now. And it feels good to just relax and enjoy the feeling of breathing in fresh air, of being outside around nature, to feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, and now feel it throughout your whole face. Feel that your skin is absorbing the relaxation, that as you breathe in that warm feeling of relaxation, it's filling your body and releasing any tension, any stress, any anxiety, so much so that as you breathe out, all that unnecessary tension is leaving your body now. That relaxation now spreading down into your neck, into your shoulders. And I'd like you to imagine that any tension around your neck and shoulders is a bit like crystals of ice. And as you breathe in that warm feeling of relaxation, just imagine that any crystals of ice are slowly melting away. The crystals of ice simply representing any tension, any stress. And the warmth of the sun on your skin is allowing them to simply melt away now. As it does so, you can feel the muscles around your neck and your shoulders just loosening, taking you deeper and deeper relaxed. That relaxation now spreading all the way down your arms, right down to the very tips of your fingers, taking you deeper and deeper relaxed with each and every breath, and just enjoying being outside in nature, feeling completely and totally relaxed. That relaxation now spreading to the inside as you take a deep breath. Imagine that warm color of relaxation filling your lungs with relaxation. So much so that it starts to relax even your internal organs. Your stomach starts to relax. Your heart starts to relax. Your lungs relax. Even the diaphragm, that muscle responsible for hiccups, starts to relax. Even your gut, your digestive system, all relaxes, so you can feel relaxed from the inside all the way to the outside. That's right, taking you deeper and deeper relaxed now. As that relaxation spreads right down into your legs, all the way down your legs to the very tips of your toes, every muscle, every tendon, every cell of your body is going deeper and deeper relaxed. That's right. And as you feel so completely relaxed, I want you to imagine that you're about to fall asleep. Fall asleep right there wherever you are, perhaps in a garden, on a beach, but outside in nature. You're about to fall asleep and then appear within a dream. And in that dream, you will be in the same place, except in this particular place, you will see yourself fast asleep right there where you are currently, starting to fall asleep now. 5, eyes completely relaxed. 4, deeper breaths. 3, really nodding off now, just as you do before you go to sleep. That feeling of complete relaxation throughout your whole body. 2 and 1, and just drifting off to sleep now. And in that slumber, you are dreaming. And in that dream, you can imagine that you're back there outside in nature, seeing yourself fast asleep. As you look down on yourself, you can see just how relaxed every muscle in your body is. Your facial expressions communicate that you are completely and totally relaxed. If you were to lift up one of your arms, and I want you to do that now, lift up one of your arms where you're lying there, relaxed. And you can feel how just limp and loose your arms are. And as you let go, your arm slumps straight back to where it was before. You can now see that your physical body is completely loose, relaxed, and completely free of any tension. But you are now inside the version of you which is in a dream perhaps within a dream. And I'm now communicating to a part of you that wants change, that wants a future that is very different from the past, a future of more freedom, more opportunities, more ability to simply enjoy life, to let go of certain beliefs, habits, reoccurring thoughts, compulsions, and anxiety. That version is simply a version of you in the past. The part that I'm talking to right now is the part that simply wants a brighter future. And I want you to also appreciate where you are. And I want you to imagine that you're barefoot and that your whole body is connecting to the ground, feeling a certain vibration of you connecting with nature. And that ground that you're connecting with could be a beach, could be a garden, could be soil, but you are connecting to it and you feel a connection with nature. As you breathe in that fresh air, you're feeling that you're energizing your whole body, giving you a sense of resourcefulness, a resourceful feeling that you can accomplish things and that change is not only possible, but more importantly, is necessary. Because nothing stays the same. Beliefs change, not just in people, but in societies, in different situations. The thoughts that we think are not the same now as they were many years ago. In fact, over time, every single cell in a human body is replaced, and we feel like we're the same person that we were 10 years ago. But in actual fact, every single cell in our body is completely different. So it can only be the things that we hold on to, the ideas and beliefs about ourselves, our limitations that can really define who we are. And if those beliefs and ideas change, then so too does the future change. So too does the emotions that we experience change. And right now, just embrace the idea that change can be a positive experience. Change can be a new chapter, a new opportunity. And I want you to imagine that as you walk through whatever your nature is right now, that up ahead you can see a door. In one of your hands you can see a key, and the key unlocks the door. And I want you to walk up to the door, because the door may be modern or it may be traditional, and you're standing in front of the door, and the door will lead to a garden. Now, this particular garden is a garden that is designed just for you. It's a garden that will represent your deep unconscious mind. And in that garden, you have plants that represent old, established beliefs. And some of those beliefs are no longer useful for you. Some of those beliefs would have been created at a point of emotional intensity. But just because we believe something doesn't mean it's true, and just because we believe something doesn't mean it's useful. But what if we could really remove those old beliefs and instead plant a seed of a new idea that could form into a belief that could be so much more useful? I want you to entertain the idea that the feelings that you're feeling and have felt previously are not because of any actual facts, but simply because ideas then turned into beliefs, and those beliefs have been accepted to be true, not because they are true, but because of the intensity of the emotion that you feel. And therefore, if we change the idea that then becomes a new belief, then the emotions that you feel will somehow be different. And when the feelings are different, then it's completely possible to feel completely new things and realize all along that it wasn't about the thing you thought it was, but just happened to be certain patterns of neurons and neural pathways that connected a particular thing that was generalized, that created a feeling. And if that feeling wasn't desirable, then we can say it's no longer useful. And the idea that we can change old beliefs and replace them with more useful beliefs is somehow a new meta idea, a belief about beliefs. So as you unlock this door that will lead to an unconscious garden, within your unconscious mind, you will unlock a belief about beliefs. And that is that no belief is true or false. Simply, it's either useful or not useful. And you will have an overriding compulsion to replace unuseful beliefs with useful beliefs. Because you have compulsions that are not useful, so why not have a compulsion that is absolutely useful? And a compulsion to have useful beliefs that take your life in a direction of positivity and opportunity and freedom could be a belief worth having. And I want you to take the key and put it in the lock of this door that will lead to a garden in your unconscious mind. I will count down from 5 to 1, and with each descending number you will unlock the door, open the door, and walk into your own unconscious garden. 5, putting the key in the lock. 4, rotating the key. 3, hearing the click of the lock. Also simultaneously unlocking a new belief that beliefs can be useful, and old beliefs that are unuseful can be changed with new, more useful beliefs. 2, opening the door. 1, walking through the door. And now 0, you are now in a garden that represents your unconscious mind. And in this garden there will be plants or trees, and these represent beliefs. Some of these beliefs are useful. You may have a belief, for example, that people at their core are generally good. There will always be exceptions, and there will always be the very few within any society that have had bad childhoods or bad experiences and do things from a selfish or unpleasant motive. But generally, most people are good people. And you may have beliefs about that each day is a new day, and each new day is an opportunity for new experiences. And you may have beliefs about whether or not the earth is round, and whether or not certain foods taste good or not taste good. But all of these are simply beliefs, and not everyone has the same beliefs that you have. But I want you to track down in this garden a belief about beauty or ugliness. Now perhaps this is a feeling that you have, and therefore an intense belief. Maybe you believe that that an impression of ugliness, whether it's in a person or someone else or something else, is an unpleasant thing. And I want you to imagine that we are removing that plant, that tree that represents whatever current belief you have about ugliness. And instead we're going to plant a seed of an idea that perhaps is already true to you at some level. And that new seed that we will plant just where the old one was. So you've removed the old belief, and we're now planting a seed for a new belief. And that new belief is that whether it's any form of attractiveness, whether it's beauty or ugliness, it's simply a subjective evaluation, an opinion. And it has to be an opinion, because what was considered beautiful 200 or 300 years ago would be very different to what is considered beautiful now. So therefore, beauty is not objective. It can't be defined. It can only be assessed and evaluated. And if ugliness, in the same way that beauty, doesn't objectively exist, then the new belief is that ugliness doesn't exist. Only an evaluation of what is attractive can exist. And an evaluation is a thought, and a thought can change, and a thought is temporary. Ugliness now doesn't exist. It's just a perception. In the same way that you can see a shadow and work out what the real thing that connects that shadow is. But the shadow is not the thing itself. The shadow is just a representation of the thing itself. And a label that is placed on anyone, whether you define them as beautiful or ugly, doesn't objectively exist. It's just a label applied to the evaluation of that particular thing or person. Because there are people out there that would consider something beautiful, and someone else would consider that thing somehow not beautiful. There is no consensus, no objective perception of beauty. So the new belief that you have now planted deep in your unconscious mind is that ugliness does not exist objectively. Only the labels and evaluations of any form of attractiveness. This is a key to being free of any emotional reaction, because if the thing itself doesn't exist, it forces you to really appreciate the evaluation of the thing.
But at this point, just simply plant the seed. Imagine planting a seed where the old belief was, and putting soil over that seed and starting to water that seed. And know that that seed is already taking roots, that ugliness does not exist objectively. And now it's time to move on to a different part of the garden. And this is a belief about fear. Because I've worked with hundreds of people with all different fears, and they all think it's the thing itself that is to blame. If someone has a fear of spiders, they blame the spiders. The spiders are nasty little things. And if someone has a fear of dogs, then they blame the dogs. They think it's the dogs that make them feel that way. But of course, that's not true. It's not the thing itself, but the feeling. Because not everyone is scared of spiders. Therefore, the fear cannot be coming from the spiders, but the thoughts around the spiders. And if someone has a fear of dogs, not everyone has a fear of dogs. For some people, dogs are a friend. For many people, they are a best friend or a family member. Therefore, dogs objectively can't be the cause of the fear. And that is also true with any form of fear. Because when the feeling changes, the phobia no longer exists. And whether your fear is of an animal or of something like an evaluation, such as ugliness, just know it's not the thing itself that causes the anxiety. It's the neural pathways that happen to be connected to that particular stimulus. And when the feeling changes even once, then the phobia no longer exists. And I want you to plant a seed of an idea deep where the old belief was. Because you may have had an old belief that actually ugly things or people cause you to feel a certain way. And that is not true. So we will take away that plant, that tree that represents the old belief, and in it there will be a hole in the ground where we will plant a seed of a new idea. And that new idea is that there is beauty in anything if you look hard enough. And if you can find beauty, even just once, in what other people would consider ugly, then the fear will go away. There are people that have been the victim of horrific attacks. Some people have had acid thrown into their face. Some people have been burnt in a crash or a fire. And when they look at themselves in the mirror, they may see something that society would label as ugly. And the way that an individual that has suffered such pain can keep feeling pain is if they believe a cultural assessment of their worth is based on the objective criteria of their symptoms. When in actual fact, the freedom comes from them being able to own the beauty in their own existence. The moment that they can see those scars and then see strength, character, resilience, an inner fight to do something positive, then that thing no longer represents ugliness, but it represents something else, such as power and strength. And if an individual can do that about themselves, then you are able to do that in others. You will now have a belief that you can see beauty in anything. You will now treat it as a challenge. You will look for things that other people consider ugly, and you will spend a few seconds, a few minutes, maybe longer, looking at how you could perceive that thing to be beautiful. And when you do that, fear will disappear. In the same way that snow melts in the sunshine, fear and anxiety will disappear the moment you can see beauty or qualities that you respect or admire in anything. The new belief is that it's not the thing itself, but the feeling. And when you change the label and you change the perception, you change the feeling. And when the feeling goes, then you will defeat the fear. I want you to go to another plant or tree that represents a different belief about something being contagious. Because it might be that you have a belief that ugliness is contagious. Now, this is not a useful belief to have. And because it's not useful and in fact isn't true, we can imagine plucking out that plant or removing that tree so there was a hole where the old belief was. You are replacing the old belief and instead planting a seed of a new idea. And that new idea that you're planting is that perceived levels of attractiveness are not possible to be contagious. But actually there are things that are contagious in a really positive way. And the things that are actually contagious are thoughts, ideas, habits and beliefs. And the more positive those thoughts, ideas, habits and beliefs are, the more you will have more of those beliefs. That one positive idea that you have that will then create many more, and it will spread among other people. Thoughts, ideas, habits and beliefs are contagious, and certainly the perceived levels of attractiveness are not. And it can't be the case that attractiveness can be contagious, because attractiveness is just some evaluation, some label. And just because you evaluate, let's say, a picture as ugly, that doesn't mean that any other pictures that are close by to that picture can become ugly by comparison. In actual fact, thoughts, ideas, and beliefs, particularly those that are positive to your life, will have a cause and effect relationship. Just one positive, grateful thought will create a chain reaction where you have more positive thoughts and ideas. One habit that is positive for your life will then create a foundation for more positive habits. When you believe certain things like ugliness does not exist, that actually by finding beauty in anything, fear goes away, that actually ugliness is not contagious, but good ideas and positive thoughts are, then they itself will create a chain reaction of even more positive thoughts and experiences. I want you to imagine that you are planting that seed, putting soil over that seed, and imagining that that seed is taking roots, that you now have 3 new beliefs deep in your unconscious mind that are not only taking root but also starting to sprout and grow, and you will nurture these delicate emerging beliefs by finding references that prove that they are true. That of course ugliness can only possibly be an evaluation, a label, because I want you to find, maybe on social media or on the internet, disagreeing voices of who people think are beautiful or ugly, and discover that the same person could be perceived to be attractive or unattractive, even though it's the same image or the same person. You will find references that not everyone fears the same thing, and therefore it has to be the thoughts, not the thing itself. You will find references and evidence to support these new beliefs everywhere. And the more references and evidence that you find for your new beliefs will help to free you from your own thoughts, because these ideas will become contagious. And the more positive ideas that you have, the more you will want to have positive thoughts and ideas. Allow these new beliefs to take root, because when they take root, the world will be the same, but you will simply see a different version of it. Sometimes bad things happen to good people, and actually, that is an opportunity for them to discover a deep, hidden, powerful part that needed this challenge to reveal itself. People don't realize how strong they are until they have to find that inner strength. And I want you to now see in this garden a future version of yourself, perhaps 1 or 2 years from the future. You are still there, but you're now seeing this future version of you without this fear. This person has no fear at all of people that are ugly or things that are ugly, because they now have new beliefs, new feelings, new associations, and new neural pathways in their brain. So therefore, they can see someone that other people may label as ugly, but they perceive things differently. And I want you to see that how much you've changed. A year or 2 years from now, you seem to be more calm, relaxed, content. Your confidence and self-esteem is higher. And actually, you seem much more comfortable in your own skin. There's something about that future version of you that is more in control of their life. And I want you to step into that future version of you where the fear does not exist anymore. I want you to notice how you're breathing differently, that your muscle tension is more relaxed, that actually you feel settled and calm. But the most important thing is that you now have different beliefs and different associations, different ways of thinking. And while you're in this body, I want you to imagine that something or someone that would have the representation of ugliness is walking towards you, but you're looking at this person with new eyes. And I want you to notice that you can't help but find something within that individual, perhaps a quality, perhaps something you admire, something about that superficially ugly person that you can't help but admire. And it suddenly is a massive realization for you that by finding the beauty or something that you respect, like, or admire about anything or anyone, it gives you the ability to defeat fear permanently. Feel how good it feels to be standing in front of someone that many years ago would have created a different reaction. But now you can be calm, comfortable within this because you realize it was never about that thing, just about the neural pathways associated with it. Perhaps created at a point of trauma, but now you've turned that trauma into treasure. You've converted that previous version of you into a stronger, much more effective and useful way of thinking version of you. You can see that person or that thing that superficially may be considered unattractive, but you are calm, relaxed, and actually you can find something positive that you admire within that thing or that person. I want you to walk away from the garden now knowing that with new beliefs you have new perceptions on the world, and with those new perceptions you have new neural pathways that create different emotional states in response to different or even the same previous triggers. It's time to go back now. Go back through the door and find yourself back in that natural, relaxing place. See yourself lying there in the sunshine looking so relaxed, and climb into that version of you. And as you climb into that version of you, I want you to adjust your body, feel relaxed, stand up, and very soon I'm going to count from 1 to 5 to awaken you. You will awaken full of energy, alertness, positivity, with new fledgling beliefs taking root deep in your unconscious mind. You will now, from this point forward, only see beauty or ugliness as a subjective evaluation that is not definitively true. Ugliness does not objectively exist. You will wake up with the new belief that there is no fear at all, just the perception of fear linked to certain things. And when the feeling changes, the phobia no longer exists. You will wake up with the belief that if you can find beauty or just something you like in what others consider ugly, even just once, then the fear will go away. And you will also wake up with a new belief that the only thing truly contagious are the thoughts and ideas and habits and beliefs that you have. Attractiveness, whether positive or unpositive, cannot be contagious. Otherwise, one single beautiful thing would make everything around it beautiful, and that doesn't happen. You will wake up with a new perspective on the world, a new inner strength, resourcefulness, and a sense of adventure looking forward to the future. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, waking up. 3, waking up. 4, open your eyes. 5, wide awake, completely wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.